Hey, I'm back. I watched this movie the other night called Free Free Lunch Express. I highly recommend it. It's actually entertaining. I'm not sure if it's going to be a comedy or what, but it's actually like a story of Bernie Sanders. And at the beginning of the movie, it showed him as around 12 years old, and he had posters all over his bedroom. One big poster with Marx, Lenin, and Stalin in it, and some other guy who I can't think of offhand. He had these communist posters all over his bedroom as a kid, less than 13 years old. And all throughout the movie, he's been obsessed with communism and all these communistic dictators throughout history. And then somewhere along the line, somebody put him in our politics. Whoever thought this would be a socialist, Marxist, communist country? I've been learning a lot about that lately. I've been studying, at Hillsdale and things like that. And it's actually an entertaining movie, but it kind of seems like pretty dangerous to me. And just to allow somebody like that to have power in our country is just plain out dangerous. Another story I heard earlier this week was a woman who is flying with her baby and her mother. Babies need things, medications, diapers, and those of you who didn't get an abortion know what a baby needs. And because the woman got somebody's pronoun wrong, they were not allowed to board a plane, and they wouldn't give them their luggage back. Do these policies sound like it's putting Americans' interests first? This pronoun shit's just going a little bit too far. Forcing it on children. I saw this other video where I think it was an Uber driver, and he called the woman who was riding in the back seat ma'am. She was obviously a ma'am or a miss. He called her miss, and she got all bent out of shape. And she was like, "What if I called you Mister?" Well, he was a mister. She was obviously a miss. So I don't see what the problem is. Haven't we had enough of this shit yet? I have. It's destroying our culture and our society and our country and everything it stands for. In the meantime, they want to call Donald Trump, they use the term politically incorrect, which I think is the wrong term anyway, because to say something is politically incorrect, that means only one political side agrees to it. I think they should use the term socially incorrect if we're worrying about people being offended. And people have been offended by things for thousands of years. All of a sudden we got these crybabies in the streets. In fact, they tried to kill our former president twice in the last 2 months. I'm thinking to myself, well, these are bad guys that are trying to kill the president. So if the bad guys are trying to kill the good guys, then you question who the bad guys and good guys are. They've done that in communist countries for over thousands of years, kill political opponents. We have another country on the other side of the world where they hate on our former president and possibly our next president. Hopefully, our next president. And they've had our border open, inviting terrorists into this country, and the Democratic Party supports terrorism. Burning, looting, and murdering in the streets. That's a form of terrorism. And raping. And Kamala Harris used our tax money to bail all these psychos out onto our streets and destroy our cities. And none of them were prosecuted for it. That sounds like terrorism to me, and your tax money paid for it. That's who Kamala Harris Roy is. Under Donald Trump, the U.S. military was very successful in its fighting against ISIS, an Islamic terrorist organization. Just like he promised to put Americans first, Trump thought the United States shouldn't send soldiers all over the world to keep other countries safe if it didn't help Americans. He brought soldiers home from countries like Iraq and Afghanistan in support and supported those countries' own militaries so they can defend themselves. This Democratic Party we have in power now doesn't believe in self-defense. You know, I mean, okay, I'm not over there. I'm not in Israel, so I really don't know the story. I guess I'd have to be there to know. But I'm under the impression that Hamas attacked Israel. That's the impression I'm under. We got losers in our streets waving the Palestine flag while they burn our flag. You know, take that shit over there. Take that war over there. And the people with the LGBTQ flags, go over there and show while those flags fly for you, your pride flags. The Democratic Party is the party that actually supports terrorism. You know, and then we have China buying land in our country. Does that make any sense to you? Does that sound like a policy that's of the people, for the people, and by the people? Let another country come and buy land over here? And why? They have their own land. We don't need anything from China. We never did. We can grow our own rice and we have our own oil. We need anything from China. They took all our inventions to begin with and thought they were improving them, but really didn't because they have children making them in factories. Everybody wants to cry about slavery. It's so going on in other countries. You know, Trump wanted to protect our border. Another way that Trump worked to keep America safe was by making our borders safe. He made it hard for people to come to America from countries that support terrorism and who work to build a wall at the border to stop illegal immigrants from coming to America from Mexico. He hired many new members of the Border Patrol agency that guards our border. I already told you who they're bringing into this country. Murderers and rapists from other countries. I know there are some family units coming through, of course, for our American way of life. It's funny how they're all coming at once, though. And they're put above you and me and all your friends and family because they come from another country. Funny, you know, I bet if people were coming from Europe, which would primarily be white people, I bet Kamala would have a fleet out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean stopping that immigration. In the meantime, this administration wants to fight for the borders of other countries. They don't give a shit about our border. Where would we be on a map without a border? Just part of a map. Where's the border? And why don't we have this problem at our northern border? You know, it's like, I don't know. I don't believe in deportation myself. I think we should take these criminals that are raping our women, our sisters, our mothers, our daughters, and murdering whoever they want to, beating up police officers, commandeering apartment buildings, and lock them up. If we lock them up, we save the world. By deporting them, we're only saving America. And America really is... We should be... If you read our Constitution and the founding of this country and what it was based on, this is the best country in the world. I always thought we were supposed to set an example for other countries. You know, culture and way of life and diversity. There's more diversity in this country than any other country in the world. So I don't understand what everybody's crying about. And I think there's at least 72 countries on this planet where it's actually illegal to be gay. It's not illegal to be gay in America. It never was. Just because a few people were made fun of. Well, everybody's allowed an opinion. I have nothing against gay people. I might not understand it, but to each his own. But I'm going to go for right now and really think who you're going to vote for in November, because it really, it could make or break America. It really could, and nobody realizes that because, I don't know, everybody's heads in their ass or whatever, because what's going on in our society now is what's going to bring us, well, we're already at Marxism and socialism. Communism comes next, and after that, and once America's gone, the whole world is gone. Once America's gone, the whole world is gone. And they want to vilify MAGA people. In fact, a black woman was kicked out of a sports stadium because she had a MAGA hat on. A black woman with a MAGA hat on. MAGA. An acronym for Donald Trump's slogan, Make America Great Again. Does that sound like such a bad idea? Whether you like the guy or not, you gotta respect that, at least anyway. So, alright, I'm gonna go for now. And please, vote wisely. Really, don't vote for personality. Well, in the end, Trump has the better personality out of Biden or Harris. He's really not a bad guy. He's actually entertaining. He's one of my favorite speakers. But really think about what he has to say, not the way he's saying it, and don't just listen to MSNBC and CNN, because they just cut little parts out. It's a lot easier to take something out of a speech than there is to add something into it. So really think about it. Take some of your news from other sources and not those losers on CNN, Corrupt News Network, and MSNBC was that major socialist broadcast channel or whatever. I had a good acronym for that one, but I'm going to go for now, everybody. All right, thanks for listening. If you didn't, please share this. This is America. We all have that right to share. Thank you.